Hello.
Then. Now.
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, welcome to episode number 89 of the TEW9 Challenge Run. We're here for Cyber Sunday, the first pay-per-view of 2025. We are, funny story, but we are here on Saturday the 4th of January 2025. It's supposed to be, obviously, Sunday the 5th, but after I finished SmackDown, I was like, okay, I've got a day before Cyber Sunday. Clicked next day, and then obviously I forgot to change the date. So it was set for Saturday instead of Sunday, so ignore, it is Sunday in our head canon, but in the game it's technically Saturday. But yes, we have 8 matches on store for tonight. You've all voted on them all. The polls are now officially closed, including a WWE Championship main event in which CM Punk, we have now learned, will take on LA Knight, a Women's World Championship triple threat match between Utami Hayashishita, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa in Tribal Combat, Io Sky one-on-one with Julia in what was probably the closest poll. Like, there was a clear winner in most of them, but like that one was the closest between that and the 6-woman tag. And a whole lot more. So without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. And also, again, as per normal Cyber Sunday rules with this series, there is options, like, if you would have voted certain things in, I would have, twisted my plans and, like, changed stuff around. How many of them did you trigger? We'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, let's jump straight into the show. Opening video packages, going over, some of the biggest matches here tonight. 4 of the matches I went over just a minute ago. WWE Championship, CM Punk, we know it'll be either Dijak, Montez Ford, or LA Knight. LA Knight did win that, so it'll be him and LA Knight in the main event tonight. Utami in her triple threat match, Io against Julia, and our opening contest of the night, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Tribal Combat. Your options were Tribal Combat, Dog Collar match, or Ulafala ladder match. Funny story, I personally wouldn't have voted Tribal Combat. I personally was down for a Dog Collar match because I just think they're sick. But you voted Tribal Combat, that's what you chose. So our opening match tonight to determine who is the one true, real Tribal Chief. The end of this saga of the Bloodline storyline. It's Roman Reigns, who's battle with Solo Sikoa. The Usos won the ECW Tag Team Championships on ECW this week. Will the goodwill continue for the OG Bloodline? And I guess the bad run of form for the new Bloodline. Entrances. Roman has his big aura entrance. He's the first entrance of the night. He stands in the ring. Out comes Solo. And then, big face-off between the two. And this is it, the final match. Solo got the pin of a Roman at War Games. Roman beat Solo back at High Voltage. Who is the Tribal Chief? 91! Okay, I didn't know how this was going to do because it went 21 or 22 minutes because it's a Roman Reigns pay-per-view match. I didn't know if I'd get penalised having Solo go that long, but Solo, not only did Solo hold his own here, he outscored Roman Reigns. Solo got on 91 and Roman got on 86. My Solo and real life, so I got a lot of comments about it on last episode of ECW, and don't worry, I know, Solo has been a very much more interesting character in my save, I believe, than in real life, and, and his trajectory from here is maybe different to IRL, I don't know, because he's not back yet, but I assume a little bit different to IRL. But we had to end, the Temu Tribal Chief shit here. But, of course, with all the aforementioned expected interference from the Usos and the Gorillas of Destiny, and I guess Braun Strowman and Joe Hendry, Roman Reigns does put down Solo with a spear in 21:43 to win Tribal Combat and to reign as your Tribal Chief, the official Tribal Chief. 86 for Roman, 91 for Solo. And what a way to kick off the night. That definitely overperformed, I thought. I think the Roman and Solo High Voltage match, I can't remember what it scored. Christian will tell me in the comments. But but I think it was a short match. I did a Wild Brawl, so this was sort of me going out on a limb and doing like the long epic here. And it's all paid off, yeah. I'm very happy with that score. Solo might even get a hug after the show's over for his good performance here. We then got our next video package, hyping up our next match, the next chapter of the Queendom Omega war with Io and company. Julia and Io one-on-one. And, yeah. Io comes out alone, no Kairi, no Asuka by her side. Julia comes out alone, no Queendom Omega by her side. So it's just a one-on-one singles match. Io Sky, Julia, one-on-one here at Cyber Sunday. Gets a 93. Okay, well, apparently ignore everything I just said, but because the game is finished, yeah, okay, it's okay. But in another epic long match, this one goes 26-27. Julia actually defeats Io. I imagine the finish is, tainted. Like, hence here it says Cammy interfered because she's set as Julia's manager, and I clicked tainted finish, so obviously the game just went, okay, so the manager can interfere. Well, she's not out there, so no, she doesn't. It's just, some nefarious, like, knee strike behind the referee's back or some shit, exposed turnbuckle, something of those ilk. And then, yeah, Julia does pin Io. 86 for Io, 90 for Julia. I will be open here and say there was one match where the babyface team would have picked up the victory here, and it is the 6-woman tag team match. If that would have got in, the Queendom Alpha, I guess, would have won that match. But if it was the tag match or Io and Julia one-on-one, the Queendom Omega were going to win. Deduce from that what you will, about what's possibly different on the babyface side and in the 6-woman tag compared to what may have happened at Survivor Series and where I'm clearly going. But yeah, that would have been the match where the babyface team would have won. We then got to ads after that, I imagine, and then imagine halfway through one of the ads, or when we come back and we get the panoramic shot of Indianapolis and whatever, and the commentator's running down, we hear Kevin Owens going to be like, hey, shut that off, okay, I'm sick, I'm tired of waiting around, okay, because I've waited for months for my shot at this television championship, and it's never ever got to come, okay, now you see the polls, you people agree with me, Kevin Owens is right. That television championship belongs to me, and Kyle O'Reilly can spew it whatever nonsense way he wants to about how you're all voting to see him kick my ass, but the facts are right there in front of your eyes. Does Kevin Owens deserve a shot at the ECW television championship? And you voted yes. Unanimously you voted yes. Okay? So, Kyle O'Reilly, get your ass out here right now, and I'll put your ass down into this canvas and take that championship that I desperately need because it should belong to me. And Kyle O'Reilly does come out. He goes, Kevin, again, I'm so glad you won this poll. I'm so glad that the universe decided that you do deserve a shot at my championship. Because whether I agree or disagree, I get the chance to beat your ass right now and put an end to this facade of yours, this charade of you walking around here pretending you're some sort of victim when all you ever do is stab each other in the back. Okay, Kevin? You may have known me all those years ago, but you know damn well what it's like firsthand to step into the ring with the God. And tonight, right now, I'm going to put you down again. So we do get Kevin Owens and Kyle O'Reilly television championship on the line. In a 90, this fucking pay-per-view so far is rocking in terms of in-ring ratings. But Kyle O'Reilly's back does give in on him. Pause. Kevin Owens blew Kyle O'Reilly's back out a couple of weeks ago, of course. So, he gets cleared up for the brain buster. He drops him because his back is, fucked. And then Kevin Owens hits a pop-up powerbomb on Kyle O'Reilly. And yeah, fuck it. He nails the package power driver on Kyle O'Reilly, and he pins him to win the television championship. So Kevin Owens is the new ECW television champion. 76 for Kevin Owens, 92 for the God Kyle O'Reilly. But yeah, Kevin Owens finally a champion. Well, when was the last time he was a singles champion in this save? I know he was the US champion in 2020, like right at the start of the save. But I don't think he's had a singles belt at least since then, because him and Sammy were tag champs. I feel like he won another tag team title across the... Yeah, no, but yeah. His first singles championship, at least, in nearly 5 years. Kevin Owens is the new ECW television champion. Raw on Netflix hype. Tomorrow night in LA. We got a number of big matches on that show, including the Intercontinental Championship main event. John Cena strives to become the champion for the first time in his career, finishing the Grand Slam as he takes on Jay White. Bronson Steiner and Cody Rhodes, the last man standing, and of course a WWE Women's Championship match as Jade Cargill defends against Becky Stardust, who could be entering that match as the Women's Tag Team Champions. Because we're about to find out right here, right now, coming up next, if that will be the case. And of course, you all voted Bird Girl in, because Bird Girl is the fan favourite, even though Stargirl is Becky's favourite. So it's just her and Lyra backstage. She goes, "I'll have to admit, Bird Girl, what an upset you pulled off. I thought for sure Kelly or Stargirl had it, because I thought these people would want to see new, fresh blood hold the tag rope for me tonight, because, it was you who lost for us back at Survivor Series. But hey, I'm willing to give you a second chance. You see, I am officially the 2024 Women's Tag Team of the Year. And that's such an impressive feat, Bird Girl. Not that you'd know what it's like to be Women's Tag Team of the Year, because you're not." And then Laura goes, I do know what it's like to be a part of the Women's Tag Team of the Year, actually. And then Becky just looks at Lyra confused and goes, "Really? I didn't know that. When did you and Kelly win that?" She just rolls her eyes and just throws on and he goes, 1987, Becky. And Becky goes, "Huh. Well, you look really good for 60, but I really thought the Jumping Bomb Angels would have had it that year, Bird Girl, but congratulations on your award. Maybe you'll win it again soon with Kelly, but you can't while I'm the Women's Tag Team of the Year. Anyway, let's go get my championships back." Becky gets up and leave, and Lyra just shakes her head and follows her on. 88. Even this outscored everything that... or outscored what I thought it would do. 80 for Lyra, 84 for Becky, 81 for Cora, 87 for... Everybody in this match is doing really good, which is good because, ideally I want all 4 of these women scoring pretty well heading into WrestleMania because they all factor in relatively big stuff. But New Millennium do retain the championships. Roxy pinning Lyra with the Pop Rocks in 13:38. The ratings I just went over. 80 for Lyra, 84 for Becky, 81 for Cora, 87 for Roxy. So yes, and still, this fire burns always. New Millennium still the Women's Tag Team Champions. So Becky will not go into her match with Jade Cargill tomorrow night as the Women's Tag Team Champions, but she still could become a Women's Champion if she can defeat Jade tomorrow night on the Netflix debut. We then get another ad break, and we cut back, and Ricochet comes to the ring all by himself. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, your United States Champion is here. Aha!" Now, over the past couple of months, the Hurt Business, they've made a lot of ups, myself included. And actually, as the first champion to bring gold to the Hurt Business, I turned that ship around. You see, the Hurt Business, they were floundering without the one and only Ricochet, but now I am on top. I'm the United States Champion, and I'm gonna beat whoever's ass comes out there right now, whether it be Buster Gates, the world famous Buster Gates, whether it be the frat boy Duke Hudson or whoever else. I'm a generational talent. I'm the one who's gonna win this. Aha! And obviously, the poll flies up on screen, and it is his former tag team partner, Big Bronson Reed, who picks up the win in the polls. And his expression changes. He's like, oh fuck. Because Bronson Reed, he hasn't been able to get his hands on his former partner Ricochet just yet. But he'll do it right here and right now, with the ECW Championship on the line. And an 80. Okay, that's a little bit disappointing, especially considering the rest of the show we've had so far. I guess it's because it's not super long, sure. Because it only goes 8:49 because we have a new United States champion. Big Bronson Reed is the United States champion. He does finally get his hands on Ricochet, and he squashes him with a tsunami to win the US Championship. His first singles championship of his WWE career. 94 for Ricochet, 88 for Bronson Reed. So this match, congratulations, you triggered a canon event here. Because originally, I was going to hold this off until WrestleMania. But, like, last month, I was going along with the plan. Like, I was going to, spread out the whole Bronson Reed and Ricochet thing. And, save it until WrestleMania, until about March, where Bronson Reed would finally snap and hit Ricochet. But, I couldn't justify doing Cyber Sunday without him being one of the options. That didn't feel... that would have just felt silly to me. So, my thought process was just, I'll stick him in as an option. If they vote him in, then I'll flip the belt. But, yeah. But, I will say, I do now like my US title match at WrestleMania more. Obviously this would have been, your standard or former tag team partners clash. I'm doing a lot of them. Okay, spoiler alert, I guess, but there's going to be multiple of that sort of match happening at WrestleMania, so I'm fine taking this one away, doing it here, and I've got a different opponent for the United States Championship at WrestleMania, and that's a match that I think will be better and just funner and just, yeah. So I'm content with this shift of plans here because, yeah, we're getting a lot of title changes to kick off the new year. They did 3 women's title changes back to back in real life to kick off the new year. We're sort of resetting things around here as well. The Usos won, Mercy Machine Guns won, Kevin Owens won, Bronson Reed's won. There may or may not be more championship changes coming up on Netflix. But yeah. And new United States champion, Big Bronson Reed. Florence and Blair. Strap match. You voted strap match in. It was Extreme Rules, strap match, or Underground Rules. Yeah. And you voted for a strap match, which I'm fine with, It's always good, especially because the dog collar lost. If you'd have voted dog collar and strap, I'd have thought that a bit silly. But we are obviously doing the cool rules of a strap match, not the touchy corners one. But yes. Florence and Blair. Part 2. Florence won the first match back in Auckland. Who's going to win here tonight? 83. I'll take that. That's pretty good. We're in the sort of middling part of the show at the minute, where things are still very good, but they weren't the highs of the first 3 matches. But yeah, Blair Davenport evens it up between her and Florence. She wins the strap match in 14:32. 74 for Blair, 85 for Florence. So yeah, this was always the sequel. This was always the stipulation match, and Blair was winning unless you'd have voted Underground Rules, because I wouldn't have been able to really justify Blair knocking Florence out. But so if you'd have voted Underground Rules in, Florence would have just won, and that'd have been the end of the feud. So I'm glad you didn't do that, even though low-key I thought it was the most interesting stipulation, but I might save that for the eventual blow-off match anyway. So, but yes, Blair Davenport picks up the win. It's now 1 apiece between her and Florence. We then, we get the video package for our, or graphic, I guess, for our next match, which is the Women's World Championship match. And then we get the polls flashing up, and it is indeed going to be a triple threat match. Utami will defend against both Candice LeRae and Dakota Kai. And that's when we pan across, we get the shot. We cut back to the locker room. Candice just sort of awkwardly sitting there in her gear, ready to go out. And the camera sort of pans across. Dakota just there sort of side-eyeing her. This is the first time we've seen Dakota in the flesh since Saturday Night's main event, actually. I just realised. And she just sort of just stares at Candice, and Candice goes, "Okay, so new plan. Okay. I'm sorry, this wasn't what was supposed to happen. Okay, but if you think about it, it's kind of a blessing." Dakota goes, "Okay, how so?" She goes, "Well, There's three of us in this match. It's effectively a handicap match. Okay, we can both work over Utami. We can take her down, and then when it comes down to you and I, we can fight it out to see who the best woman is and see which one of us two can become the women's world champion. And Dakota went, but it's my rematch, Candice. And she's like, yeah, well, yeah. And that's why it'll be you who wins and becomes the women's world champion, of course. And yeah, tonight you get to finally beat Utami because we're both in the match and it's easier that way. And Dakota's like, oh right, I get it, because I couldn't beat Utami by myself. And Candice is like, well, no. Dakota's like, excuse me? She's like, I mean, history has proven that no, you can't. He goes, oh, right, because of a Money in the Bank cash-in I wasn't expecting. And then a championship match back at Saturday Night's main event that I lost because somebody distracted me at ringside. Candice goes, yeah, but there'll be none of that tonight. No, but we're on the same page. You're leaving the Women's World Champion. And they both go out for the match. 94. Let's go. Okay, so another long-ass match here, 24 and 16. Utami comes out with just Cammy, I imagine. Because I imagine the Mega Sis and Saya are obviously there, and Yoko's there, because they didn't get voted in. Julia, she just had her fucking 20-minute war with Io earlier on tonight, so she can't come out. So it's just Utami with Cammy. And for the first part of the match, we do get, what you expect. Utami basically having a fight off both Candice and Dakota. Candice goes for a roll up like a couple of times on Dakota, and Dakota kicks out, and she's like, okay, well, nearly got you. Then Utami hits the hijack bomb on Candice LeRae. Dakota breaks it up, and Utami's on the offense. She takes both women down. She goes for the cover. They kick out, and then we do get the tag team offense. Candice and Dakota corner Utami. They're raining strikes down on her. Send her across to the other side of the ring. Dakota hits that running big boot in the corner. Candice drops Utami with a neck breaker. She hits the springboard moonsault, and then Candice goes for the cover. 1, 2, and that's when Dakota sort of shoves her off. And she goes, "What are you doing?" She's trying to win the match. And she's like, "But I thought I was gonna win the match." Candice goes, okay, well, I got carried away. Okay, my bad. Okay, sorry. And then Dakota goes to boot Utami. She boots Utami down. Utami drops the leg, sends Dakota over the top rope. Candice gets the jump on her. Utami shoves Candice off her back, scoops Candice LeRae up, nails the hijack bomb, and she pins Candice LeRae to retain the Women's World Championship. Dakota, I imagine it's the pin where she gets the 2 and you see Dakota get into the ring. She flies across the ring to break it up, but she can't quite get there in time. And Utami retains the championship thanks to pinning Candice. So yeah, 92 for Candice, 83 for Dakota, 88 for Utami. Nice. And then after the match, Utami's celebrating. Candice and Dakota sort of just shake their heads looking at each other. And Utami walks to the back where her and Cammy, they've greeted up with the rest of Queendom Omega. And Cammy goes, I told everybody, okay, this triple threat. They went, oh, you're signing Utami up for failure, she's got a 33% chance of winning this match. That's not true, okay, because that implies everybody has an even shot at winning. Okay, Candice and Dakota, they knew they were going to start eating each other alive in that ring because they can pretend to be best friends all they want, but when there's a Women's World Championship on the line, friendship can only get you so far. So now they've got a lot to sort out with each other, but that's not really my problem because we still have the championship, and now we're done with Dakota Kai. Okay, we're done with Candice. We can now move on to more worthy and justifiable opponents than those two. Okay, they continue to bicker with each other like schoolgirls. We'll keep doing champion business. And Julia, tonight, you saw her put Io down, okay? So she can move her ass to the back of the line as well. Because she's not deserving of a chance of opportunity against the Queen, Utami Hayashishita, if she can't even beat Julia, okay? So, whoever it is out there, please make yourself known. Anybody who thinks they're on the level of the Women's World Champion. Asuka walks in. And she sort of just stares a hole through Utami. And she goes, I beat your queen. She's not ready for Asuka. And Asuka walks off just smiling. And then obviously the expression on Cammy and Utami's face changes at the looming threat of Asuka. Main event time. We see Dijak, Montez Ford, and LA Knight stood backstage. And then, the poll results pop up, and LA Knight, of course, wins. He goes, haha, yeah. Now, see you later, chumps. Okay, because Montez Ford, Dijak, get a load of this. Okay, I imagine the whole thing is like they stood backstage, like in the interview area when the poll pops up. So then LA Knight he wins and he walks out to the ring, but he's cutting the promo while he's walking backstage. So these two, background players and the entire thing. Montez Ford, he wants to get back to the title opportunity that he so desperately wants. Dijak, he wants to get his first championship. Nah, because there was only one man who was ever going to be voted in tonight to face CM Punk for the WWE Championship. One man who's going to be voted the savior of Monday Night Raw, and that's LA Knight. Yeah, because everybody voting can't deny the undeniable cavalcade of the megastar, and you fight megastar with megastar. So CM Punk, it's a new year, but it's the same old me, okay? And the same old LA Knight is going to go out there right now. He's going to plant your fragile ass into the ground with a big old BFT, and I'm going to be walking out of here the new WWE champion with everybody saying, yeah. That doesn't happen. LA Knight does come up short in a 95, by the way. What a fucking pay-per-view. CM Punk does defeat LA Knight in 1834. He keeps using the fucking Pepsi plunge. I went over this before. I need to change his moveset. With a GTS. CM Punk makes things number 3 of the undisputed WWE Championship. He holds the winged eagle up high. 91 for CM Punk. 87 for LA Knight. And I forgot to add the segment to the show, but after the match, Punk does leave. Cora Jade, Roxy Perez, Ace Austin, Chris Bay come up with him, and then they all walk backstage through Gorilla. Triple H is there, and then they sort of just approach Triple H and start annoying him. He goes, look at that, huh? That was the people's boy out there, the people's champion. On his ass, yeah. And he goes, good job, Punk. He goes, so now you've got your champion defense out of the way, please don't try and ruin the big Netflix premiere tomorrow. He goes, well, look at him. Look at Corporate Paul worrying about the Netflix executives and me ruining the big Netflix debut, even though the people there paid for CM Punk. Okay, Mr. Netflix executive, he wants CM Punk on his show, so I'm going to be on that show whether you want me or not, because it's in the best business of the company. See you tomorrow, Paul. So yeah, CM Punk will be on Raw Netflix tomorrow. He's probably going to have a lot to say, but yeah, still undisputed WWE Champion, CM Punk, to end Cyber Sunday, which gets us a 93, okay. Probably should have been a little bit better, In terms of match ratings, this pay-per-view was fucking sick, but I didn't buy any of the fancy special sets or whatever, so the game probably was it's not going to be a 100. When in reality, if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, over half this show was 90 rated matches. Yeah, so yeah. What matters more though is what you thought of the show. So do leave in the comments below, and I'll see you on the other side for our press conference. We're here, and our first question is very appropriate. WWE Royal Rumble, a legendary event in the WWE calendar, is coming soon. You must be excited. I am fucking ecstatic, if I do say so myself. We're a couple of days removed from the real life Rumble. I'm still annoyed that we didn't get out on time, but we're gonna make some legendary memories. You were voted Company of the Year 2024. How much of their success is down to you? Well, I mean, all of it, to be honest. I'm very proud that my booking led to this award. I work with a lot of talented people. They deserve the credit. Yeah. Yeah, it did. Becky and Lyra got voted... Oh, sorry. Becky Stardust recently got voted as the Tag Team of the Year. Do you agree with that choice? Wait. So, this says Becky and Lyra voted Tag Team of the Year. It doesn't say anything about women's. Does that mean, because obviously Jacques KO won the men's Tag Team of the Year. But does that mean, like, if this was the old game and there was only one Tag Team of the Year award, it would have gone to Becky and Lyra? But to be honest, I do agree. Especially in terms of, like, my company, like, thinking about tag teams I've had last year. You know, we've had like, a lot of champions because I'm purposefully, you know, changing the belts. Like, I understand, you know, the world titles not being hot potatoed every now and every single month. But, like, I generally think it's fine, especially for tag titles, because, like, my thought on a tag title is, like, if the belts keep flipping, then that proves you've got a competitive division. Anybody can beat anybody, which is sort of the same thing for the mid-card title, because inherently the mid-card title should flip relatively frequently, because that's what they're for. They're like and like if they flip frequently, then every Gunther reign you get with the IC title stands out even more. But anyway, back to my point is that because, you know, with the men's tag teams, I've flipped the belts, you know, quite a lot, and Lyra and Becky were... Yeah, I guess I would agree with that 100%. Well, no, because it says Randy O'Neill and Dragunov covered. Oh, yeah, sure. They're definitely the best duo in the world right now. How concerned you are the off night CM Punk had? No, he had the best match of the night. You know, fuck off. It seems like everyone agrees that Cyber Sunday has been a successful show. What are your thoughts? I'm delighted that it went so well, to be honest. I genuinely thought it was just going to be, you know, bang average, but half of the matches on the show were fucking excellent. The reason Vote had Gunther as the wrestler of the year is that the choice you would have made. He's definitely the best in the world right now. As Bronson Reed won the US title, does that mean you'll be getting behind him strongly over the coming weeks and months? I have a lot of faith in him, okay? I don't want to say too much, but his plans over the next couple of months and for WrestleMania, something I'm definitely... I'm kind of glad you made me pivot away from Bronson Reed and Ricochet now, because I really like the US style match I've got at Mania more. The media scrum is complete. So yeah, I'll see you next time for episode 90, which will be the Raw on Netflix debut. See you then.